I've been at James Cook University as a lecturer in early childhood education and arts education since 2000. And before then, I was at the University of Wollongong. I was a student and a part-time lecturer there. And before that, I lived in Canada. So I started my studies in Canada. And I did degrees in arts and in fine arts and in early childhood education. And I worked as a teacher of early childhood and art in the Winnipeg School Division. And then I traveled around a lot and ended up in Australia. And I came to Australia in 1988. And I found that at the time it was really hard to have qualifications from another country. So I decided I would do some more study here. So I started at the University of Wollongong. I did an MA Honours and then a PhD. And I ended up at James Cook University. I have taught in two areas, arts education and early childhood, but this citation is about early childhood. And in about 2009, we started an online program in 2007, and in about 2009, the numbers of face-to-face were declining, and it was decided that there would be no face-to-face for certain subjects, such as the early childhood focused subjects, in the program. So starting in 2009, all my teaching became online. And that's a change for anybody, but particularly for early childhood people who thrive on interaction and communication. And online students accepted that they would have to do everything online, but face-to-face students weren't as happy about it. So I'm going to give this a go, and I'm going to put the scenarios in as part of the subject and an accessible part of the subject. And with the scenarios, what I did is from my research and reading, I identified some topics, but I also consult a lot with people who work in the early childhood field. So based on those consultations, I came up with 5 topics that were relevant for early childhood practitioners. And I gathered and collated information from teachers and from social workers and principals about the various topics. And I wrote a scenario, like a little story, based on the issue. And they were written so that the students, the online students, became the teacher in each of the scenarios. So I think scenarios is a really important issue, particularly in online learning. And it's received a lot of positive feedback, and it's one of the issues that I explore as a way of personalizing and humanizing the online learning environment.